Welcome back to Obscure Star Wars EU. Today, we've got a quick video on a quick topic. This piece of EU is maybe a bit more well known within EU circles. This was an exclusive Toys R Us Hasbro 3 short story little magazine. So it says 3 exciting stories, exclusive Star Wars short story collection by Hasbro Clone Wars. And these are Clone Wars era short stories that are written by 3 kind of interesting authors. And then on the back it advertises Insider. This was kind of an insider advertisement. So opening it up, it will have a page for the publication info. And it mentions the Clone Wars timeline and stuff up here. And it has these presentings as well. So Scholastic presents Stormfleet Warning. So it's advertising the Clone Wars stuff that's written by Jude Watson and Scholastic. So cool that Jude Watson wrote a short story for this. So Scholastic, being the publisher, presented it. Del Rey presents Equipment by Matthew Stover, who also wrote Shatterpoint, so he represents that side. And then Star Wars Insider presents Duel by Timothy Zahn. So we have all of these different publications represented here. And so first, well, there's a neat little timeline in here. My copy's a little bit worse for wear. But here's Stormfleet Warning. And it's just a short little several page story. We've got some screenshots from the movies in here, which is neat. And it ends after, I think this was 1, 2, count 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, 6-page short story. Pretty cool, by Jude Watson. Then we've got Equipment, this next short story here, by Matthew Stover. And it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pages yet again before it ends. We have an advertisement for Shatterpoint right there too, which is neat. And then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more pages before this story ends for Duel by Timothy Zahn. And then in the back, something kind of cool is they advertise Star Wars action figures. This is cool to me because they're also advertising some EU action figures as well, which is really, really neat. We have Dirge and Asajj Ventress up here. The Dirge in particular is so cool to see that advertised, really, really neat. And then we also have this Jedi Knight 3-pack that I remember seeing from back in the day. Super cool as well. Just, the toy advertisements were always kind of neat. So this is a really cool kind of advertisement for Insider, Del Rey, and Scholastic Publications, and advertisement for Hasbro Toys. And it's kind of neat that they did this, that they had 3 6-page short stories put together in a little volume like this. Definitely worth picking up if you want to collect the EU and want to be a completist. I'd say it's cool to pick up this magazine. It would be cool to get a PDF of this on StarWarsTimeline.net as well, so we'll see if that happens. It would be pretty neat. But yeah, this is really cool, and I love that Jude Watson took part in this with Matthew Stover and Timothy Zahn. More well-known, I guess, within EU circles, names who wrote things like books. Super cool that she had a hand in a short story here. Kind of neat. I think she also wrote an Insider short story set in between the books of Last of the Jedi, Ghost of the Sith, or something like that. But yeah, this is a super cool little Toys R Us Hasbro short story collection. Super neat. Let me know in the comments what you think of this. Do you have it? Have you gotten it? It's a little trickier to find nowadays. But yeah, super cool. I realized that I hadn't really given my overall thoughts on the stories and the lore within the stories themselves. They're each short, 6 pages each, so it's not like they have universally shattering impact on anything. But if I was to give a quick surmise of my thoughts or feelings for each of the story, I would say that going from least to best, my least favorite was probably Duel by Timothy Zahn. It was a story that included Yoda, some clones, a Hailfire droid. It was fine. It wasn't that memorable in my opinion. It was just kind of there, and so it was a little bit mediocre. I didn't really believe Timothy Zahn's writing during this era, the Clone Wars here. I don't think he wrote anything else during the Clone Wars era that I'm recalling off the top of my head. But this was just a mediocre, fine story, filler, forgettable. I'd give it 4 to 5. It's not egregiously bad or anything, but it's not the best thing ever. Second would go to Equipment by Matthew Stover. It's quite a bit better. It ties in a bit more to Shatterpoint as it features Harun Kal. And I think they later actually included this story in either the Legends banner paperback or the regular paperback copy of Shatterpoint. It was included there later on, I believe. But yeah, this talks about clone troopers. It deals with their motto, which I thought was really cool, and ties a little bit into Shatterpoint as well. So Matthew Stover, of course, is a master of continuity. He wasn't going to do a half-baked job at anything. So this is a pretty good, entertaining 6 pages. I thought it read really quickly and was quite good and fun. So I'd give it a 7 to 8 out of 10. And finally is Stormfleet Warnings, which I put in first place. I thought it was really, really fun. Stormfleet Warnings by Jude Watson was my favorite of the bunch. It's a good old-fashioned Obi-Wan Anakin short story, which is one of the things that Jude Watson writes best. She writes Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan so good, and of course Obi-Wan and Anakin she writes really well as well. There was an original character in this named Fizz, who I thought was actually quite fun. I really liked the entire story to this, the action. We dealt with some ships and some fleet related stuff, some undercover work. It was a really fun little short story. So I enjoyed Stormfleet Warnings quite a bit. I'd give it an 8 to a 9 out of 10. It's a solid read. So that's my overall thoughts on the stories themselves that I did want to cover real quick. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.